Hello, welcome to our YouTube video today. Um, we will be giving you a walkthrough on how to download and install Tableau Public. You could do it either on a MacBook or on a Windows, but I'm using a MacBook, so I'm going to show you how to do it on a MacBook, but I think it's a very similar process if you're using a Windows computer. And then also, we would give you some sort of quick overview of how the Tableau Public software looks like once you have downloaded it, right? Also, you would have to create a Tableau Public account and would show you where to go to in this video to help you create a Tableau Public account. So first you want to basically open the web browser. So I'm using Safari. If you're using Safari, please go ahead and open it. Or if you have Chrome or Microsoft Explorer or Mozilla Firefox, any web browser that you typically use or you're comfortable with using, please go ahead and open it. And all we need to do is search for Tableau Public. I have used it a lot of times, so once I type it in, it already comes up in my search words. So it's the very first one here, and you just basically click on it, right? We could see other items, right? So Tableau kind of shows you every day they select a vis of the day, which is basically a visual of the day, right? You could see some top visuals for different business dashboards that people have created. You could also search millions and millions of data visualizations that people have created, I think, for the last 20 years, right, or so, that Tableau has been in existence, right? So, or should I say, based on this, should I say 13 years, not 20 years, right? So let's go ahead and click on that. And this is the web page you see once you open up your Tableau Public, right? So if you're new to Tableau and you do not have any Tableau account or whatsoever, my first task for you is to sign up for a Tableau Public, right? Because you need it in order to properly use the Tableau Public software once you download it on your computer. So just click on sign up for Tableau Public. It's free. You don't have to pay any money or whatsoever. I think that's one of the huge advantages of the Tableau Public software or Tableau Public account, right? The second advantage for it is that you could easily share your portfolio, right, or your web link to your Tableau Public website with anybody, right? So if you're applying for a job and maybe a recruiter is like, oh, can I see your portfolio of some of the designs you've done? You could share your Tableau Public portfolio with that recruiter, right? And hopefully they can go in there and see your work and everything, right? You could also share it on LinkedIn or share it with friends and get feedback and all those different things like that, right? So that's the second advantage, right? Obviously, every good thing, there's a disadvantage for it, right? So you don't want to do any kind of, let's say you're working in a company, for example, right? And with company, everything is kind of proprietary, right? So you don't want to use Tableau Public if you're doing a company work, right? Because it doesn't save to your computer. So anything you do here, it saves to the cloud, right? And the whole world can basically take a look at it, right? So although I know there's a setting where you could put it either public or you could make it private, right? But just know that everything you do on Tableau Public saves to the cloud and not to your personal computer. So you just go ahead and fill all of this, answer all the questions they have, and you would have your account set up in maybe less than a minute or less than 2 minutes, right? You have it set up. So I am not creating a new, I'm not creating a new account because I already have one, right? So I'm just going to sign in. Okay, so I'm just going to sign in here. All right, so that's how, if you have an account, you can just basically sign in, right? Let me, okay, so let's go back to Tableau Public. All right. Okay, so once you're done signing up and everything and setting up your account, right? What I want you to do is maybe just basically click back and come back to the Tableau Public, right? And then here, no, let me sign in. Give me a minute. Okay, now I'm signed in, right? So I think yours should look like this when you sign in, right? On the top right-hand corner here, if you have a picture, you can upload it to something, but you see my profile, you see some settings, and you see sign out, right? So if we click on settings, you can go in here and change your password and all these different things. You could delete your Tableau account if you don't want it anymore. You could maybe link it to your Google Drive as well. Yeah, this is the URL that you would use to share your portfolio with friends or on LinkedIn or with a recruiter, right? So that's where you go to do all of that. And then for your profile, you could edit your profile, you could put different stuff, you could put your images if you click on this, you could put the organization you're affiliated with, the country you're in, and all those different things, right? And then for me, these are some of the visas that I have created, right? So I've not created so much on Tableau, right? But I'm basically just creating it one day at a time. So now to help you download Tableau Public, if you come on the create button here on the top left-hand corner, once you click on that arrow, it says web authoring and then download Tableau Public Desktop, right? So when you click on it, it takes you to another website where you get to download Tableau Public, right? So this is the latest version, 23.2.2 of Tableau, right? So it's basically available for Windows and Mac. And then this is some of the new features for the latest version. So all you have to do is click on download Tableau Public. So I have downloaded it, right? So what I would do is show you how I would be installing it. So I'm just going to bring it over to the screen. All right, so for Mac, all I just do is double click on it. And this is basically what it shows me, right? So I can click on this. Right, and this is what it shows me here, and it basically just walks me through the installer process. You definitely want to click agree on that one. So, and then you can see it takes up almost 1.88, like almost 2 gig of space, right? All right, so we just give it a few minutes and it would go ahead and install and we should be ready to go. Okay, so we'll come back to this while we let it to install, right? So regardless of whatever computer you're using, just click on this download Tableau Public, and it will download the software for your exact computer, either Windows or a Mac, right? So let's see, okay, it's almost done. The other cool stuff I want to show everyone is the Learn tab, right? So if you click on Learn, Tableau has a lot of resources, right, that would help you start learning how to create data visualizations, right? And then maybe start developing your portfolio, right? All you have to do is look at how can you make it better, right? That's always what I think about when I'm trying to do database. How can I make it better from what I am looking at maybe in the how-to videos, right? How can I make it better? So this is like a how-to video that basically explains a particular data sample that they have done, right? They've showed you how you can get started, how to navigate the workspace, how to create charts, how to create bar charts, how to connect your data. Sorry, it goes this way. So how to connect your data, how to do a profit ratio by geography, how to create a text table, and then finally how you can build a dashboard, right? So if you just want to maybe practice something real quick, right, I would say this is the you could just start with this video and just start getting yourself acquainted with the different ways you can use Tableau, right? And here to use one of the most popular data visualization data set which Tableau has, it's a superstore data set. Now, if you go to sample data, they have a lot of data that you could use in different sectors, right? So be it business, be it entertainment, be it sports, or maybe a public data or education, or even government, or science, lifestyle, technology, health. So they even have more down here, right? I think basically what you can see from this is database can be applied to any industry, or should I say data visualization is needed in every industry. In as much as that industry is collecting data, they need somebody to visualize that data for them and make meaning out of it, right? Whether be it for exploration, exploring data, or explanation, right? So they need somebody to be able to help them do either of those two components which I mentioned. So take a look at the sample data and keep practicing, right? Or building things and trying to answer questions. And then there's a ton of community resources, right, that you could basically connect to help you build your skills or build your knowledge in data visualization. So let's see. Okay, we're almost done here. It's less than a minute. Okay, so that is just registering the updated component, and I think we should be good to go. Okay, yay, we are done and ready to go. All right, so the installation was successful. So I'm just going to close this and close this as well, and then close this one too. All right, so I'll go ahead and open Tableau Public so I can show you how it looks like. So feel free to look for wherever it has installed on your Mac or your Windows and basically just open it up. So all right, so this is basically how it looks like, right? when you connect to Tableau for the first time. All right. So when you open it for the first time, this is how it looks like. All right. On the very top, you'd find like Tableau Public. You can click the About and see different things about Tableau Public. And then here in the File tab, right, you can open a new Tableau file, or maybe open an existing one, and so on and so forth. And then you can do some other stuff there, right? Or you could get open help or get support, whatever you want to do there. And then the first thing I will start with is this blue pane area, right? So this welcome window is kind of split into 3, right? So the first is this blue pane area. And basically that is where you get to connect to your data, right? So it can be an Excel file, it could be a text file, it could be a JSON file, a PDF, a spatial, or a statistical file, right? Or maybe if you want to connect to a SQL server, right? Or some sort of server to load data from SQL, right? You could do all of that in this first tab here, right? Or this first pane, whatever you want to call it. If you feel you need to upgrade to an advanced version of Tableau, right, by paying the subscription fee or the yearly fee or whatever, if you click on upgrade, it will basically take you to the website where you can do all of that stuff there. And then as you create visits, right, it would show in all of this this large white canvas area, right? All your past visits would show here. And then remember the how-to videos and the learning videos and everything I showed you guys on the Tableau website, right? If you go here, you basically see all of that. And then Tableau would always post the visit of the day, right? So you would always see that here. And then you can explore the visit of the day for other past days or months or years and everything by clicking here. And then they have a lot of resources and some of those sample data sets that we store on that website, right? Now, we could go over, so just at the top left-hand corner here, if you click on it, it switches your view, right? So it takes you from the welcome view into your Tableau workbook view, right? So if I go back and click on it, if you click on the Tableau symbol, right? So it switches the view, right? So from where you can connect your data or the welcome view into your workbook view. Now you're in the workbook environment, right? So the first pane here is basically where your data will be loaded and you'd see all the tables and attributes and everything belonging to your data, right? And then there's a second one, which is analytics, right? You can do different kind of analytics. You could summarize, you could build a model, you could do a custom stuff, whatever you want to do. You'd find it here in the analytics pane, right? And then next to it is basically where you can create pages, right? Or where you can filter your data set by different attributes, right? Or the max column where you could do things related to color, size, put a text, a tooltip, and things like that. We'll see more about that. And then some of the things you want to create, right? Maybe a line chart or a bar chart or a square or a circle or whatever. You could see all of them here, right? And then next would be your columns and your rows, right? So basically your columns, which is, should I say, like the features, right? You drag and put them there, or your dimensions or measures, you put them in the columns. Or you could use it to start a new calculation, right? And the same goes for the rows as well, right? You can drag your dimensions or your measures into the rows. And once you do that, everything builds here in sheet 1, right? So you could see this here is for the columns, and then this here is for the row. But you can drag any table or any attribute you have into sheet 1. And then the last thing I would show is Tableau has different types of charts or visualizations here. And when you click on them, it gives you a hint. So if you wanted to create a table, it says you will need one or more dimensions or one or more measures in order to create a table, right? So it lets you know the different things you would need to create a table, right? If you need to create a pie chart, you need one or more dimensions and then just one or two measures, right? And that would be it. For a horizontal bar, you need zero or more dimensions, one or more measures. So I find this very useful, right? Because it gives me a hint on what I need in order to create either a bar chart or a pie chart and so on and so forth, right? The other thing I would quickly mention is down here, you could add more worksheets, right? Or you could add a dashboard, right? So we'll talk about the dashboard maybe later on, right? But keep following our videos as we would spend some time creating dashboards as well. And then also lastly, you could also create story points, right? So basically the sheet is basically your first workbook. This is where you create all your visuals. You create them in a sheet and then you transfer them into a dashboard, right? And then the story, when you're about to tell a story, right, you can transfer all your dashboards into the story tab, right? So we'll kind of go through all of this when we get to that aspect of our tutorial videos. Okay, just at the top, you can go back to different things or you can go forward, whatever you want to do. You could replay animations here. You could save your Tableau public file. So if we save it, it goes straight to the cloud, right? That's one thing I want you guys to take note of, right? You could also link a new data source. You could maybe create a new worksheet or new dashboard, new story. If you don't want to create it from down here, you can do that up there. You could also duplicate, right? Maybe if you want to duplicate a sheet or you want to duplicate a dashboard, you could do that there. And then the next one is you can clear everything on your sheet. You could change the rows and the columns. You could do ascending or descending. That's what those two symbols mean. You could also highlight specific things, right? Or you could group specific things that you're interested in. You could add a text, you could pin certain things to the axis, and then here basically helps change the the size of your layout, right? You could say entire view, or you can make it to fit width, or just say standard. My so okay, and then you could also show hide cards, right? So that's basically what this helps you to do. And then finally, you could put it in like a presentation mode, right? So that's basically a walkthrough of some of the functions for Tableau. So I hope this was helpful. Please like the video and do subscribe to the video. We'll be posting more content on how to start creating some visualizations using the sheets, dashboards, as well as creating story points. Thank you so much for joining us today, and have a good one, everyone.